Hey y'all, how are you doing? It is your girl, the ultimate motivational mama here, Karrie's mom, and I am just giving you an update on my IEP meeting. Y'all see the way I just rolled my eyes? I am so exhausted, y'all. I mean, that meeting was a lot, okay? A lot of things I am learning on this journey with Karrie's autism. I am so grateful that I have my guardian angels on my shoulders and they speak to me and they tell me the right things to say, when to shut up. Some things they can't contain. So I did get emotional, but not too much. I was able to step back. Actually, the coordinator, she actually was like, "Okay, mom," because the fire was about to go out the top of this hair I got on my head. Okay. But yeah, I know I'm crazy. But I mean, I put on my boxing gloves for my baby Karrie and I fought for what I felt like she needed. I'm still advocating for her to get the para. She has a behavior action plan, I believe it's called, that's going to be put into force. She has new goals that are set, and I asked them myself to add in Karrie to start being exposed to the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, because when I witnessed my daughter, she has a new liking for scribbling. And that is very promising to me, because scribbling, the next stage is writing. I love my baby. I'm so proud of her. I honestly was not aware that she was that good at scribbling, because previously you give Carrington a pen and she flicks it to the side and walks away. There was no interest in writing. A little coloring she'd do, but nothing with too much definition. I know when she was younger, she did a lot of the dot paint. I don't know if you guys know what dot paint is. It's like a marker, but it's shaped like a dot, and you just tap it, and it makes dots on the paper. So now I'm like, I want to get her an easel. I do have a big whiteboard that I use for my tasks and my reminders, but she likes to draw on it. So I'm going to get her own whiteboard, or I think I'll get her an easel. Either way, she likes to doodle. She likes to scribble, and I feel like she spends a lot of time at school. She's there 6 hours a day. I want them to incorporate the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s into her learning, because she's not in a conventional pre-K class. She's still in that special needs, I would say, preschool setting, where there's not really a direction for that. There's not really a focus for that. Let's be honest. I don't think they have a direction for that in regular pre-K unless your kid is in a private school. Because I noticed when my Karrie was in pre-K in private, they sent home homework. As with my older children, they were always in an academically geared daycare. The neighborhood I live in now, they don't really have too much of that stuff that I'm used to from my old hood in Queens Village. Those schools in Queens Village, you gonna learn today. My oldest daughter, 24, she learned to read at age 3, age 4. I was the same. Believe it or not, I was raised by my grandparents, but they had me in nursery school, because back in the 70s, early 80s, my grandmother was a prominent businesswoman, and she ain't had no time for no kids during the day. She had us in a daycare. I remember the van picked us up at home and took us to their home, and we learned. I remember eating Campbell soup at that preschool. I was only 4 years old, and your girl has always been an avid reader. I fell off as I've gotten older. A lot of life issues, a lot of, everyday problems, a lot of, my anxieties, and, just dealing with having a lot of children and dealing with hectic work schedules, because my last 2 jobs, so that's over about 3 or 4 years, they've been very hectic. I've taken on more responsibility, and with responsibility becomes a lot of work, a lot of pressure. So it's not real. I really haven't had time to read those books that I read when I worked at my job at Children's Services where I was more of a clerical administrative, and I did a lot of paperclip pushing. I did do some supervisory as far as assisting clients that needed childcare at the intake desk and the front desk. That was more of a supervisory, solving problems, doing a lot of customer service, letting them know if they qualified for the child care, if they were eligible, and what they needed to bring in if they were not eligible. That was supervisory. But as far as the back side, I did a lot of data entry. So there was a lot of room for me to read my little books at lunchtime. No one bothered me. My 2 newer jobs, I worked as a supervisor for exams for New York City Civil Service for the events. And the testing that we used to have in the school, but now that job is obsolete. They have all of the testing is going to be on computers, basically, most of it. So, but at that time, I was a supervisor, and it was a hectic job. Okay, so I didn't have a lot of time to read. And then my current job, I'm an HR analyst for finance. That job is a newsroom. Okay, because not only did I do the HR analytical work, I did a little bit of recruitment. I also work with a little bit of procurement. When the divisions needed their job postings on different related sites, I was the go-to liaison for that. So back to Karrie, because I didn't took you there, okay? I didn't took y'all there. I'm just trying to say that, I started reading early, and I still am a reader, but I haven't had time. I want her to have the same experience. When she's home, I do a little reading with her, and Kelsey. Colton is also starting to do a little bit of number recognition because we have a chart in the house. And, we're starting to introduce him to books as well. He's never too young, but I really feel like Carrington is not as focused at home because she's used to being able to be comfortable in her own skin. And she does a lot more stimming, a lot of more bouncing. And I feel that school is more structured, and being that she's there 6 hours, I want them to introduce her to not only the PECs, the symbols recognition, and the iPad where she can communicate through tapping a photo and it'll talk for her. I want my baby to learn to read. I want my baby to learn to read, y'all. I'm going to help, and I want them to help as well. So I had them include ABCs and 1, 2, 3s in the IEP. I also was able to get them to increase her OT from 2 times to 3 times because they were increasing everything else. And the coordinator's like, we need to improve this. We need to increase this. She does a lot of stimming. Hello. So this is going to be so beneficial. She's getting the speech. She's getting more OT. She's getting the PT. Go, Karrie. We're going to make it happen. We're not putting you in a smaller class size. We're going to keep you in the class size you're in. And we're also going to advocate for your your health paras, just so that you can have that extra, support on the side. And I'm also going to make a phone call because I don't like that her bus is bringing her home over an hour. And we live 15 minutes away from that school. Y'all, don't play with me. How many kids they picking up that it takes an hour and a half to go 15 minutes when I drive? Don't do that. Don't do that. Y'all are playing with my baby. She does not need to be on the bus all that time. And my Karrie, she pulls her hair out. When she's bored, she pulls out her hair. I don't know if you've seen her photos. Not only does she not like her hair to be brushed, combed, or pulled, or put in any clips, she pulls her hair out from the scalp at times when she is bored, bites her nails. So we don't need this kid on a bus over an hour. Don't do it to me. Don't do it to me. No. If we can do better, we're going to do better. So mommy's going to make a call to OPT, Pupil Transportation, and find out what's going on, if they can get her a shorter route. And basically that's it, guys. I'm going to let you know what the progress is. I appreciate you listening to me rant, because I didn't rant it. I'm ready to go home now, have some food, see my little cozy, do a little relaxing. I have my exam coming up soon, so I'm going to do a little study in my statistics and my managerial questions for that. And I hope that you all have a great week. For those parents out there, caregivers, don't give up. Y'all see I'm tired. I don't be getting no sleep. Colton wakes up almost every 2 hours. Daddy has that responsibility. But I have Carrington, and we have a crazy cat that decides to wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. Meowing, y'all. I can't kill a cat, so I just get up and feed him. What I'm going to do? The Humane Society will come after me. So I deal with my crazy cat that wakes up my Carrington every morning at 5 o'clock. So yeah, that's why I look tired. I actually am tired. It's not a fraud. I'm actually tired. But those parents out there, caregivers, you're taking care of your loved ones. Don't give up. Just don't give up. Peace.